What really happens when you go silent and disappear from her life? It might not be what you think. Today, we're uncovering the unexpected truth behind her emotions when you pull away. Spoiler, it's not just heartbreak and longing, it's a wake-up call mixed with a dash of Stoic philosophy. As the Stoics taught us, understanding our emotions is the first step to mastering them. When you step back and stop chasing, she's not just wondering where you went, she's reevaluating everything. Curious to know what goes through her mind. 1. The sensation of being rejected. When you disappear suddenly, she might interpret it as rejection. The feeling of being cast aside can strike deep into her self-esteem, making her feel unwanted and dismissed. This type of rejection can trigger a sense of inadequacy as she begins to question her worth in the relationship. It becomes more than just the absence of your presence. It becomes a statement about her value. She might spend days or even weeks wondering why she wasn't good enough. The lack of closure can cause her to replay past conversations and actions, searching for where things went wrong. In Stoicism, we learn not to dwell on what others think, but it's essential to remember the emotional toll this kind of rejection can take on someone. 2. The emotion of missing something. Your absence will likely create a void. She may feel the sharp emotion of missing the connection you once had. This isn't just about missing a person, but also missing the routine, the conversations, and the bond that once felt secure. Even if the relationship wasn't perfect, she might now romanticize the moments, amplifying the feeling of loss. The absence creates a longing, and even minor everyday moments become reminders of what is gone. The nostalgia of better times can make the present feel empty, as she's left to fill that void on her own. Stoicism emphasizes the impermanence of things, but understanding this feeling is crucial. It's a natural response to unexpected separation. The key lesson here is that people often miss what was familiar and comforting, even if it wasn't ideal, and this void can linger longer than expected. 3. Curiosity. Curiosity will inevitably follow as she tries to understand why you disappeared. She'll wonder what happened, what went wrong, or if there's something she missed. Her mind will go over every interaction, searching for clues that explain your sudden exit. This curiosity can quickly spiral into obsession, causing her to overthink and replay moments that may not even be significant. The more time passes without answers, the stronger her curiosity grows. This need for understanding may turn into frustration as unanswered questions weigh heavily on her mind. Stoicism teaches us to detach from the need for external explanations, but the human mind naturally craves closure. As a Stoic, it's important to recognize the impact our actions have on others, even if we choose detachment. Being left in the dark without closure often prolongs emotional distress. 4. She'll pursue you. In some cases, disappearing may prompt her to reach out and pursue answers. She may try to reconnect, searching for clarity or closure. This pursuit may come in the form of texts, calls, or even trying to meet you in person, hoping to make sense of the sudden void. The pursuit isn't always about rekindling the relationship. It's often about satisfying that need for resolution. She may feel driven by an urge to confront the situation, unable to let go until she knows why it ended so abruptly. Sometimes this pursuit comes from a place of emotional distress, where she's unable to rest until she hears your side of the story. The more elusive you are, the more determined she may become to understand your actions. Stoicism teaches us to remain calm and centered, but it's important to handle such situations with empathy rather than avoidance. By responding with kindness, even in detachment, you can help her find the closure she needs. 5. Self-reflection. Once the initial shock and emotions settle, she may begin to turn inward and engage in self-reflection. This is a natural response when someone unexpectedly disappears from her life. She'll start analyzing her actions, behaviors, and the relationship as a whole, trying to make sense of what led to your disappearance. During this period, she'll likely question whether there was something she did wrong or if there were signs she missed along the way. This reflective process can be both eye-opening and painful because it forces her to confront not only the situation, but also aspects of herself she may not have thought about before. As she looks back on the relationship, she might replay different moments in her mind, conversations, disagreements, or even small gestures that she once overlooked. This deep analysis can lead to personal growth as she becomes more aware of her own strengths and weaknesses. However, there's also a danger here. She may begin to take on too much responsibility for what happened. While reflecting on her actions can be constructive, it can also create unnecessary guilt, causing her to feel as though she was the sole reason for your disappearance. She may question her worth and wonder if she could have done something differently to prevent the situation. Self-reflection, in this sense, becomes a double-edged sword. On one hand, it can lead to greater self-awareness and emotional maturity, helping her learn from the experience and grow stronger. On the other hand, it can also stir up insecurities and unresolved emotions that might make her feel worse about herself. She could start to second-guess her decisions and even doubt her value, all because she lacks the clarity that comes from knowing why you left. From a Stoic perspective, reflection is crucial for personal growth. Stoicism teaches us that learning from every experience, whether good or bad, is essential to mastering ourselves. The key, though, is to reflect without allowing external events or other people's actions to dictate our self-worth. For her, it's important to remember that your decision to disappear is not something she can control. Instead, the focus should be on understanding her own emotions and behavior, not on internalizing blame for things beyond her control. Through this balanced form of self-reflection, she can grow, heal, and move forward with a clearer sense of who she is. As she reflects, she may also recognize patterns in the relationship that were previously hidden or ignored. This new awareness could help her identify behaviors or choices that contributed to the outcome. Perhaps she realizes she compromised too much of herself, or that there were red flags she brushed aside. The reflection might also make her aware of her own emotional needs, giving her the chance to set better boundaries in future relationships. However, it's important for her to approach this reflection with self-compassion. Without it, there's a risk of falling into a cycle of harsh self-criticism, which can prevent her from moving forward. The goal of self-reflection in Stoicism is not to punish oneself, but to learn and evolve. This process of looking inward can lead to a healthier mindset, as long as she understands that both personal growth and mistakes are part of the human experience. Self-reflection is an opportunity for her to gain clarity, rediscover her inner strength, and rebuild her emotional resilience. It's a transformative process, but only if it's done with the understanding that growth comes from learning, not from dwelling on the past. In this way, Stoic principles can help her navigate the complex emotions she faces, ensuring that her reflection leads to empowerment, not self-doubt. 6. Relief or regret. After navigating through the emotional rollercoaster of confusion, anger, and self-reflection, she will eventually arrive at one of two destinations: relief or regret. When you disappear without explanation, these two contrasting emotions are often the final stages of processing the situation. Depending on the nature of your relationship and her own emotional state, she may either feel a sense of relief at the end of the connection or experience deep regret for what was lost. Relief might come if the relationship had been causing her stress or emotional strain. In this case, your disappearance could feel like a burden lifted off her shoulders, giving her the space and freedom she may have needed but didn't realize she wanted. If the relationship was toxic, filled with constant conflict or draining interactions, your absence may provide her with a fresh perspective on her own well-being. She may start to see the situation more clearly, realizing that the relationship was no longer serving her in a positive way. The time apart can offer her the mental clarity to rebuild herself and focus on her personal growth, free from the emotional turbulence the relationship brought. Stoicism teaches us that sometimes separation is necessary to restore inner peace, and in this case, relief could symbolize her return to a balanced state of mind. She may experience regret, particularly if she cherished the relationship or felt there was potential for it to grow into something deeper. Regret stems from the idea that things could have been different if there had been better communication, more effort, or a clearer understanding between both parties. She may feel that there were unresolved issues left on the table, and your sudden disappearance only amplified the pain of what could have been. This type of regret can be especially challenging because it often comes with a lot of what-if thinking. What if she had said something different? What if she had tried harder? What if she had been more open about her feelings? In Stoicism, we are taught to let go of the past and not dwell on things outside of our control. But for her, this might be easier said than done. The regret she feels could also be tied to the realization that there was more she could have learned from the relationship. The sudden end can leave her feeling that she missed out on opportunities for personal growth or deeper connection. This form of regret is not just about losing you, but also about losing the potential lessons and experiences that the relationship might have offered. She may long for a second chance, wishing she had the opportunity to address the issues and rebuild the connection. Unfortunately, the lack of closure can make this regret linger longer than expected. While relief may give her a sense of freedom and the ability to move forward, regret can trap her in a cycle of reflection and self-blame. Regret may also bring with it a sense of unfinished business, things that were left unsaid or unresolved, making it harder for her to fully move on. She may find herself stuck, mentally revisiting the relationship over and over again, hoping to make sense of how things ended. This could lead to prolonged emotional distress, where she feels that the sudden ending robbed her of any chance to heal or gain closure. Whether she experiences relief or regret, Stoic philosophy teaches us that both emotions are temporary, and both will eventually fade. Relief may bring a renewed sense of self and independence, while regret may teach her valuable lessons about love, communication, and emotional vulnerability. In time, these emotions will settle, and she will reach a point of acceptance. Whether she is grateful for the distance or mourns the loss, her focus will ultimately shift back to what she can control: her own thoughts, her own growth, and her future relationships. She will come to realize that while your disappearance impacted her deeply, it does not define her. Relief or regret, the Stoic path forward remains the same: acceptance, learning from the experience, and moving on with a stronger sense of self-awareness. This is where her true power lies, not in the emotions tied to the relationship, but in how she chooses to navigate them. Disappearing without a word may seem like an easy way to detach, but remember, Stoicism doesn't teach us to avoid responsibility or to hurt others unnecessarily. It's about mastering yourself, not neglecting the impact your actions have on others. If you want to practice true emotional detachment, communicate clearly, show compassion, and act with virtue in all your interactions. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay strong, stay virtuous, and continue your journey of self-mastery. If you found value in this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more Stoic wisdom, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about disappearing without explanation? Does it align with Stoicism? Let's discuss.